Shane Parrish, The Great Mental Models, General Thinking Concepts, Volume 1. Dive into the fascinating world of mental models with this summary of The Great Mental Models, General Thinking Concepts, Volume 1 by Shane Parrish. Learn to navigate the complexities of reality by understanding how simplifications and focused representations can help us make better decisions. Uncover the significance of recognizing your circle of competence, how reasoning from first principles and inversion can aid in creative problem solving, and the power of thought experiments. Along the way, discover techniques like second-order thinking, probabilistic thinking, Occam's razor, and Hanlon's razor, which equip you with the tools to scrutinize your decisions and navigate challenges with ease.
The power of mental models. To navigate reality, we use mental models, tools that simplify complexity. Maps are great examples of how these models work. Maps focus only on the important features needed to navigate a complex terrain, leaving out unnecessary details. This holds true for other models that help us make sense of the world, like financial statements or news articles. It's essential to remember that models are just simplifications of reality, and forgetting this can lead to errors. Nonetheless, if we use these models smartly, they can offer a powerful way of simplifying complexity and making sense of the world. Your circle of competence. The importance of recognizing and working within your area of expertise. Imagine all of the practical knowledge that humans possess forming a vast and varied landscape, requiring a map for navigation. However, for skills that fall within our circle of competence, a map becomes unnecessary. Our circle of competence comprises skills that we have honed over the years through study and practice. It is crucial to recognize and acknowledge the limits of our circle of competence to achieve success. Inside our circle of competence, we can move around with utmost confidence and handle the challenges that come our way. Outside it, we feel like a fish out of water. We cannot know everything, and every one of us has areas of ignorance. Thus, we must be honest with ourselves about our limits and focus on our strengths while seeking help in areas of weakness. For instance, if our dream is to start a business but we are terrible with numbers, it would be wise to hire the services of a financial advisor or read up on financial literacy basics to avoid total disorientation. Knowing when we are outside of our circle of competence is critical to avoid unwarranted confidence, which can lead to disastrous outcomes. The case of the 200 frozen Mount Everest bodies vividly highlights the risks of venturing outside our circle of competence with overinflated egos. All these people felt confident about their capabilities to conquer the mighty mountain, but they were out of their depth. Recognizing and working within the limits of our circle of competence is vital for success in every aspect of life. By doing so, we can focus our efforts on our area of expertise and seek help in areas where we lack the necessary skills and knowledge. Creative problem solving through first principles. The most basic aspects of reality, or first principles, can lead to innovative solutions. By approaching a problem from its root causes rather than its effects, you can harness creativity to solve it. This involves reasoning from first principles, or foundational facts, and applying them creatively to find solutions. The book provides examples of how individuals can use this method to develop innovative solutions. One example is developing artificial meat by recognizing that taste and smell are the essential components of meat, rather than the process of raising and killing animals. By identifying first principles, individuals can open their minds to creative possibilities and develop groundbreaking solutions. Inverting to solve problems. Edward Bernays, a pioneer in public relations and propaganda, was tasked with selling more cigarettes to women. He used a problem-solving method called inversion, which involves taking a normal approach and turning it upside down. There are two ways to go about inversion: assuming something is true and working backward, or assuming the opposite of what you want to accomplish. Bernays assumed women smoked as much as men and marketed cigarettes as an after-dinner treat for maintaining a slim figure and as torches of freedom for independent women. Inversion can be applied to different areas of life, such as practicing to get rich by assuming you are poor and avoiding behaviors that lead to poverty. Inversion can help develop creative problem-solving skills. The power of thought experiments. Discover how thought experiments can help you generate new ideas and clarify your thinking. By imagining scenarios that may seem absurd or impossible, you can gain insight into complex problems and make better decisions. Thought experiments offer a risk-free way of testing ideas without investing resources and help you explore alternative possibilities. Take, for example, Einstein's thought experiment, which helped him to develop his theory of relativity. By exploring hypothetical scenarios like, what would you do if money were no object, you can gain a better understanding of your values, priorities, and aspirations. Imagination is a powerful tool that can help you unlock your creativity and transform your life. The power of second-order thinking. Our decisions must be scrutinized and evaluated through second-order thinking to anticipate and evaluate potential consequences to bolster our arguments. Winning the lottery may seem like a dream, but it can quickly turn into a nightmare without careful second-order thinking. Second-order thinking is the practice of considering the consequences of the consequences, evaluating the potential impact of our decisions. It is a skill that can help us make responsible choices and decisions that will benefit us and those around us. Consider the overuse of antibiotics in the livestock industry. Initially, farmers were fixated on the immediate, first-order consequences of giving antibiotics to their cattle. Bigger cattle equaled bigger profits. They failed to anticipate the second-order consequences, resulting in antibiotic-resistance bacteria that became part of the food chain, posing serious health threats to consumers. Without second-order thinking, we fail to process the long-term consequences of our choices. It is only when we consider the potential second-order consequences of our decisions that we can make responsible choices. Making positive second-order choices, including environmentally and socially responsible ones, is critical to our long-term well-being. But second-order thinking is not just about avoiding negative consequences, it can also be a useful tool for persuasion. By emphasizing positive second-order consequences, we can persuade others to our side. Mary Wollstonecraft, a pioneer in feminist thought, argued for equal rights for women based on the idea that it would have positive second-order consequences for society as a whole. For example, if women had access to formal education, they would be better citizens, contributing positively to society. Making good decisions requires foresight, and second-order thinking is a powerful method for discovering potential consequences so that lasting positive effects can be instituted. Our decisions should not be limited just because we do not know the consequences of the choices we make. With second-order thinking, we can anticipate and prepare for the future, making responsible decisions today that will have positive impacts in the years to come. Probabilistic thinking. The key message of this passage is to use probabilistic thinking to make more informed decisions. The author advises against overreacting to second-order consequences, explaining that the best way to assess potential consequences is by weighing their probabilities. Bayesian updating is introduced as a helpful approach to this. By utilizing prior information, new information can be assessed rationally to avoid overreactions. The author emphasizes the importance of updating our understanding of the world while considering probabilities without dismissing new information. By doing so, one can make better decisions without being paralyzed by an overwhelming fear of the potential consequences. Occam's razor in decision-making. Occam's razor is a problem-solving tool that suggests the simplest explanation for a set of data is likely the correct one. It's a cognitive heuristic used to make decisions, especially when dealing with scientific and medical issues. In simpler terms, when comparing two equally compelling explanations, the one with fewer assumptions is more likely to be correct. This summary explains how Occam's razor works and why it can be a useful tool for everyday decision-making. Hanlon's razor. Hanlon's razor states that the simplest explanation for misbehavior is stupidity, not malice. This principle reminds us that intentional wrongdoing is the exception, not the rule. Hanlon's razor is similar to Occam's razor in that it highlights the importance of the simplest explanation. However, Hanlon's razor adds a unique twist, emphasizing that stupidity is often the cause of misbehavior rather than malice. For example, if someone cuts you off while driving, it's easy to assume they did it intentionally and become enraged. However, Hanlon's razor suggests that it's more likely they simply made a mistake and didn't see you. Most intentional acts require a lot of planning, energy, and thought, while mistakes are more common and often arise from ignorance, laziness, or a lapse in judgment. This principle serves as a helpful reminder that people are not always out to harm us, even when they make mistakes or cause us pain. It encourages us to keep a cool head, deal with the situation as best we can, and move on with our lives. By following Hanlon's razor and assuming stupidity instead of malice, we can avoid unnecessary conflict and understand that unintentional mistakes or misbehavior are often the norm rather than the exception.
In The Great Mental Models, General Thinking Concepts, Volume 1, Shane Parrish presents a collection of powerful mental models that help simplify and decode the world around us. By understanding these models and applying them in our daily lives, we can make better decisions, solve problems creatively, and navigate even the most complicated situations. From first principles to Hanlon's razor, these mental models not only sharpen our thinking but also enable us to adapt to new information and evolve our understanding of reality. Embrace these invaluable concepts to elevate your thinking, improve decision-making, and unlock new realms of possibility in all facets of your life.